Today, we are diving into a crucial aspect of personal development, building your inner strength through self-discipline. Let's start with a scenario that we're all familiar with. Imagine you have a meeting tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. with a friend, and you decided that you need to wake up at 8 a.m. to ensure that you have everything ready, okay? Well then, what would you say is the likelihood that you would end up falling asleep after the alarm clock went off? Pretty slim, right? I mean, you don't want to leave your friend hanging or disrespect him, so you'll make the effort, okay? Now, what if instead you had made a commitment to yourself to wake up at 8 a.m. tomorrow so that you could have a productive morning? Now, what would you say is the likelihood that you would end up falling asleep after the alarm clock went off? If right now you just thought to yourself, yeah, I'd probably sleep in a little bit longer, or something similar, well then, let's work on your self-respect. Listen, I came into this realization by analyzing my own habits. I wondered, why was it that I would wake up so early on school days? You know, I would wake up at 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 a.m. But then on the weekends, I would always sleep in until like 10, 11, maybe even 12 a.m. So the sad realization that I came to, we prioritize commitments to others more than we prioritize commitments to ourselves. The key is understanding that building inner strength starts with respecting ourselves just as much or even more than we respect others. This is where self-discipline comes into play. Discipline isn't just about restricting yourself. It's about honoring the promises that you make to yourself, just as you would for others. This is the reason I am super careful with what I say. Because listen, at the end of the day, I know that if I say something out loud, I'm going to do it. You know, I hold myself to that high standard to guarantee that my word is worth something. So if I say that I will create a YouTube channel, then I'll create one. If I say that tomorrow I'm going to wake up and go for a run, then I'll do that. I don't have a choice, you know, regardless of if it's raining outside or, you know, freezing cold, scorching hot, whatever it is. I made the commitment yesterday, so today I'm going to do it. No choice, just stick to the plan. Now, I did a little research to find out why it's so hard for us to stay disciplined and maintain ourselves committed to our promises. Basically, what is the source of everyone's willpower? So here's what I found. So there's this thing in our brains called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Big word, I know, but what's interesting about this brain part is that there have been a lot of studies done in humans showing that when people do something that they don't want to do or that they don't like to do, this brain part gets exercised, meaning it grows bigger. So, when people do something they don't want to do, like going to the gym 3 times a week, or eat that salad instead of, you know, a cookie or a McDonald's hamburger, whatever it is, when people do anything that they don't want to do, this brain area gets bigger. Now, here is what's especially interesting to this brain area for me. The anterior mid-cingulate cortex is smaller in obese people. It gets bigger when they diet. It is larger in athletes. And it is especially large in people that see themselves overcoming challenges every single day. Now, here's the important part. All the data points to the fact that we can build up this area of our brains. Like, that's amazing, you know? The fact that we can increase our willpower by constantly leaving our comfort zone and do things we don't feel like doing. So when it comes to strategies to increase this brain part, here are the main ones I personally use. So the first one, as I said before, is if you make a promise to yourself, don't break it. Especially if you don't want to keep that promise. Because listen, that's where the growth is. If you made a promise to yourself that tomorrow you're going to study that book, or you're going to take a cold shower, whatever it is, and then tomorrow rolls around and you're like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing this today. That is especially when you need to do it, because that's what exercises this brain part. That is what will increase your willpower. So these are the positives that I personally experienced in my life after implementing all of this. Firstly, confidence. I think this is the one that pops up first because, listen, if you're constantly doing something that you don't really feel like doing, but you know it's good for you, well then the result of that is you're going to be very proud of the person you are becoming. And, by result of that, your confidence will go up. Needless to say that, if you're making yourself study every single day and you're making yourself exercise every single week, you're also going to get the benefits of doing those tasks. So you'll not only get more intelligent, you'll be more fit, you'll be happier, and all of this ends up leading to a better mental health and overall life satisfaction. Now look, accountability here is key. Trust me, there will be days where you don't feel like doing anything. You're going to wake up, you're not even out of bed yet, and your brain is going to start thinking, damn bro, I promised that today I was gonna go run 5 kilometers, I was gonna do all of this, and I just have no energies to spare. But you can't afford to make this mistake, because not only does the brain part get bigger when we do things we don't want to do, but it will also shrink if we become complacent. Meaning, every time you skip that gym session, or every time that you should be studying but you just don't do it, this brain area will shrink in size. Your willpower decreases. I mean, listen, this is the reason why so many people start off strong in the gym, but then end up losing track completely. Because, they skip one day, and then one day turns into a week, and 1 week turns into a month. And very quickly, their whole fitness life is just completely derailed, okay? And they are completely out of track. They gain all of their weight back, and that is just not what you want to do. Now, it is important to be careful as to how you approach your life from now on, because I certainly wouldn't recommend that you start a diet and you join the gym and you start running and then you start a side hustle all at the same time. Like, that's just stupid. You can't change your life in one day. So start small and slow. Go for a 10-minute walk today, okay? Then once you're consistently doing 10-minute walks, then start dieting. Then you can join the gym, and then you can start running, and incrementally you're adding steps. The point is not to just increase momentum, but to maintain momentum, okay? Momentum is crucial if you truly want to achieve your goals. So, in conclusion, we've delved into the concept of self-respect, realizing that prioritizing commitments to others over commitments to ourselves is a common challenge. Building inner strength requires us to respect ourselves just as much, if not more, than we respect others. Self-discipline emerged as a key player in this journey. It's not about restricting ourselves, but about honoring the promises we've committed to doing. So, personal accountability becomes the foundation of the inner strength we seek to build. We also looked at the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, a brain area that is associated with willpower. This brain area can be developed by consistently leaving our comfort zones and doing things we do not feel like doing. Exercise this brain area by taking cold showers, hitting the gym, studying when you don't feel like it. Basically, you're going to be training this brain part whenever you do something that you do not feel like doing. Consistency in overcoming these challenges is key in order to strengthen your willpower. Finally, as you embark on this personal journey, start small. Take incremental steps towards change. The goal is not just to increase momentum, but more importantly, to maintain it over the long haul. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining in. I do hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, don't forget to share it with people who you might think could potentially benefit from the knowledge that was discussed in this video. And if you did get some value out of it, please leave a like and subscribe. Now that you've committed yourself to sticking with your goals, you can click here to find out how to organize them. I'll see you there.